Hello everyone, welcome back to some more of The Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time, let's see what happened last time. We solved the case of what happened at Windbanks, and basically we didn't get the disc, is the problem. What ended up happening was the police took the disc, but Sholmes made a copy of it somehow, and yeah, that's the whole thing. But yeah, we can't listen to the disc because we don't have the music notes or whatever made for that, so you know what I mean? Yeah. There's that. That is one. After that, we just basically went home, invited Gina over, had some dinner, and found out, a little before dinner actually, that apparently Susanto knows the name of a manuscript that Sholmes has hidden in the locker, which is weird because how exactly would she know that? Because the only person that are supposed to know the names are Sholmes and Iris. The other information was not leaked publicly. So yeah, we have that going on, and yeah. Beyond all that, we're basically at night. We're basically at nighttime now, talking. Basically, we're about to find out what exactly Gina meant when she said that Sholmes was lying to her about the manuscript somehow. So yeah. Whew, that was an explanation. Gina, what did you mean when you said that you know Mr. Sholmes is lying to Iris? Well, he reckons he popped that manuscript or whatever, right? Well, come on. That's obviously a load of rubbish. Oh my. Why would you think that, Gina? It's simple. If that store was really an old Winterbank storeroom, there's no way someone from halfway around the world, in other words, you, could know about it. Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he's sold it. Without telling you. But Hurley would never do something like that. I'm sure of it. Ha! Grown-ups do a lot worse than that, believe me. Bare-faced liars, the lot of them. You just ain't realised it yet. I'm telling you, that manuscript ain't at Winterbanks. You'd see soon if you had a look. Even if you think you can trust him, I don't. That Sholmes is a liar, like the rest of them. If I'm honest, I have wondered if Hurley's telling me the truth sometimes. See? Oh, but I don't mean that I think he sold it. I mean that I sometimes wonder if he might have hidden my manuscript somewhere. Somewhere I don't know. Even though it's wrong of me to doubt him. Don't be too hard on yourself, Iris. Well, I mean, yeah. If he literally says to not send it out, I mean, he must have a reason or something like that. Oh my goodness, look at the time! Come along, Ginny. We should go back downstairs. Yeah, alright. And please, don't mention any of this to Hurley, will you? No, of course not. Good night then, Iris. Good night, Gina. You must let me make breakfast for you tomorrow morning. I insist. Oh, yes, please. I can't wait, Susie. Good night, then. Iris. It sure is easy to forget, isn't it? Sometimes he speaks just like an adult. But deep down, she's still just a child. And she is only like 10, I think, so... Well, I think it's time that I turned in for the night too, Naruhodo-san. Dr. John H. Wilson, Iris's father. But also, the name of the murdered visiting professor at Yume University. It can't be a mere coincidence. There's something deeper going on. Huh. It's Naruhodo. Mr. Naruhodo. That voice. That's Mr. Oh, whoa, whoa, wow, that was a voice. That's Mr. Sholmes. What's going on? It's the middle of the night. It's Mr. Strahd. She's gone. Gina? She was supposed to be sleeping in Iris's room, but her bed is empty. Well, she's an independent young woman. She probably decided to go home, no? I think not. From speaking to her before she retired, I received the distinct impression that she was looking forward to breakfasting with Miss Susato. No, I don't believe the girl has gone home, but I've been waiting for it over an hour now. Over an hour? Oh. If you'll indulge me, look out of the window, my dear fellow. What's this about? Okay, I don't see anything. Huh. Wait a minute. Why is there a light on at this time of night? That's Mr. Windibank's pawnbrokery. Mr. Windibank's? Oh no! It's simple. Oh yeah, if that store was Windibank's storeroom. Nah, she didn't go to see if it was in the storeroom, did she? Yeah? Just gonna go in the middle of the night? Could Gina have gone? It seems you have some knowledge of the situation, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Oh, no! No, not really. Well, anyway, we must investigate. At once! Miss Susato, what are you doing up? Alright, 16th of April, 1:14 a.m. Okay. I thought it was like 3 to 4 or something a.m. The door to Windibank's. It's open. And the lamp is burning. It must be Gina, mustn't it? Let us hope it's nothing more sinister. What? Come, there's not a moment to lose. Clearly something is afoot inside. There's no one here. Oh, yes. There is. Ah! Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! What the? Has Sholmes been shot? Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo. But, after them. Go! Right. Blast! I've lost them. Hello. What are we here? The alarm was just raised from this pawnbroker, sir. Would you know something about that? Officer, come with me. It's my friend, Mr. Sholmes. He's been shot. Shot? With the policeman close behind me, I ran back to Windibank's.
Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Narado!
Oh, wow, he was actually shot. Wow.
Never mind me, but there's much at stake. Behind that door. In the storeroom. Hurry!
Oh, snap.
It's Gina!
Huh. Okay, on a side note though, like the animation, the actual like cartoon animation. Well, maybe not cartoon, but the animation of this is literally impeccable. Seriously, like the first few things, it's really good. Like, I wonder why they didn't make more anime. Well, I mean, I guess it's not the style of the game, so I mean, you know. But in the same breath, it's like, I don't know. It just looks so. The animation just looks so good. So it's like, you know. Here, if they ever make a great, I mean, they made an Ace Attorney anime all the way up through Trials and Tribulations, I believe. Yeah, I think it was Trials and Tribulations. So I don't know if they ever make an anime for the Great Ace Attorney. That art style should be it. So that art style should be what we have. So yeah. From that moment, Windibank's pawnbrokery became a crime scene. Everything that followed happened in a whirlwind of activity. The arrival of the police, the preliminary investigation of the scene, and the questioning. It was just before dawn before I was allowed back to my lodgings at 221B. "16th of April, 6:21 a.m. Naruhodo's League Consultancy." Wow, okay. So it's been like, what, 5 hours? Okay. Jeez, 5 hours of investigating and questioning, huh? Oh, Iris.
A telegram came, but all it said was, "Wait at home."
Oh, yes, we asked one of the policemen to have it sent. It was simply impossible to come back.
When I woke up, I was all alone. Hurley and Ginny were gone. Everyone was gone. What happened, Runo?
Poor Iris, she's trembling. She's obviously trying very hard not to let herself get too worried. I'll explain everything that I know.
Something awful has happened, hasn't it?
Yes, I'm afraid so. Well, I guess that's right. It's nice to go over everything. I'm sorry to have to tell you this, Iris, but Mr. Windibank is dead. He was shot. We discovered it in the early hours of the morning.
Oh, yes. I had a feeling.
You did?
Well, I saw all those police carriages pulling up outside his shop. So I knew something must have happened there.
When we entered Windibank in the small hours, we disturbed a gang of 2 thugs. They ran out onto the street, so I chased after them, but they got away.
So, it was one of them who shot old Mr. Windibank, I suppose?
I don't know, but that's not what the police believe at this moment.
Oh, why not?
They've arrested someone else as their prime suspect, you see. Gina.
Ginny? But why?
Well, the thing is...
No! Ginny wouldn't do something like that.
I know. None of us think she did it.
Then why have they arrested her?
I'm sorry. There was nothing I could do. Jeez. Guess we should probably tell her about Sholmes.
So, where's Hurley then? Is he still there investigating the scene? He really ought to have some breakfast. It's not good for him to miss meals.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Sorry, just the music literally just like stopped on a dime. I was like, I don't want you to worry, Iris, but I have some news about Mr. Sholmes. He was taken to hospital this morning.
What?
Well, when we entered Windibanks, a gun was fired, and he took a bullet.
Hurley was shot? No.
It's all right. His life isn't in danger.
Really? Are you sure? Where is he? Which hospital?
He's at St. Sinner's. They're tending to him there.
I must see him at once.
I'm sorry, Iris, but you can't.
Why not? That's not fair. I'm a family member. I should be allowed.
No, I mean, nobody can see him at the moment. He's not allowed any visitors. They're preparing to operate, you see.
To operate?
The bullet must still be lodged in him, I guess?
Oh, poor Hurley.
Wow, okay, yeah. So the bullet must have lodged itself inside him. That's probably why. Eh. It was the two thugs who were in Mr. Winterbank's shop. They shot Mr. Sholmes when we disturbed them, you see. It was pitch black inside the shop at the time. My mind went totally blank, I'm afraid. I just froze. After them. Go! After that, I ran out into the street, but, well, they were long gone. I shouldn't have hesitated. I'm so sorry. It's my fault. I let them get away. Well, I mean, they had a gun, for crying out loud. What were you gonna do? Walk up there, catch him, and get shot? Like...
I think that's a very good thing.
Sorry?
Well, if you'd seen which way they went and chased after them, you might have been shot as well, Bruno.
Yeah, it's just what I said.
On top of everything else, I couldn't bear that.
Oh, Iris. Alright. What about Susato's situation? Wouldn't she... Well, I mean, she wouldn't necessarily be a witness, but...
Where's Susie, Bruno?
She's still at the police station.
Oh? Why?
I expect she's still being questioned. The police said they wouldn't be finished for a while.
Why aren't you there, then?
Well, I didn't get a good look at the criminals anyway, so they weren't questioning me for long. And Miss Susato stayed behind at the scene to tend to Mr. Sholmes, so they didn't get started until later.
Ah, I see.
Besides, one of us had to come back to be with Iris. I'm glad Inspector Gregson agreed to me leaving early.
You should have let me know, and I would have come to the station.
Jeez.
I don't understand why they arrested Ginny. It's not fair. What about the two thugs who were at the scene? Why aren't they the prime suspects?
Because the police couldn't find them.
After all, they shot Hurley dead, didn't they?
No! I mean, Mr. Sholmes isn't dead, Iris.
Ugh, this is all so horrible.
The thing is, Mr. Winterbank was found on the floor in the storeroom where he keeps all of the deposited articles. And the storeroom door was locked from the inside.
I see.
But he wasn't alone in there. Gina was found next to him on the floor as well.
Oh no!
And according to the detectives who investigated afterwards...
Don't tell me there was no one else in the room?
Yes, exactly. How did you know?
It's the only explanation.
Yes, the only explanation indeed.
What do you mean by that, Rudo? Well?
What can I say? I'm damned if I agree, damned if I don't. I'm afraid I'll need to go out again now, Iris. There's not much I can do at the moment. But I can at least try to find out how Mr. Sholmes and Gina are getting on.
I want to go too. Take me with you, Runo. I can't stand just sitting around here waiting.
I'm not sure how I feel about taking a 10-year-old child to the scene of a murder. But I don't want to leave her all alone here either. Alright then, Iris. Perhaps you can help me.
Oh yes, I'd love to.
Jean's at the prison. Mr. Sholmes is probably in his hospital bed.
And don't forget we have to visit the crime scene. We need to conduct a thorough investigation.
Ah, I can see you're ready for action. I imagine Iris would appreciate going to the hospital sooner rather than later. Alright, and I guess that's the order we'll do things in. A few more places have been unlocked. First off, the crime scene, obviously. Secondly, we have the hospital itself and the prison. So I guess that's kind of what we're gonna do. We have, what, 20 minutes? So yeah, we have like, what, 30 more minutes to go? So, what do I wish to do? Because right now we can either start off going to St. Sinner's, or we can head down to Sholmes' Suite or Baker Street. Okay, so let's head off to Sholmes' Suite because I think there's some new stuff there. Is there? Because you could just come here and analyze everything, so I may as well look at like a few different things. Now that we have Iris with us. What's this random class? Okay. Now this really is Mr. Sholmes' faithful performing partner then. The Strappy Scar, the Stravidar, the Scrappy Scar, the Scrapifarius. No good, it's gone. The virtuoso's violin that he found in a pawnbroker's and managed to buy for next to nothing.
I hope Hurley gets well soon. I miss hearing his violin playing already.
Oh, Iris, I'm sure he will. Oh. Okay. We can do that. We can go for like 2 more things. Okay, first off is the typewriter, seriously. Come to think of it, I haven't seen you doing much writing recently, Iris. But there's paper already set up in the typewriter, I notice, as if you're about to start.
I'm a little bit stuck for a new story idea, actually.
Well, you could consider using what happened to Mr. Natsume, perhaps?
Oh, yes, that's a fabulous idea. And a great title has popped into my head as well. The Adventure of the Catty Man. How's that, Runo?
Yeah. Anyways. What is this? This is where you note down ideas, isn't it, Iris? Let's see. What does it say today? Ah, the Boscombe Valley Mystery.
We visited Boscombe Valley recently for a picnic, you see, but I forgot to bring the tea. So when Hurley became thirsty, he decided to drink from Boscombe Pool. He gave himself an awful tummy ache.
Oh dear.
Hurley sat there miserable as can be in that field of flowers after that, just like when you saw him yesterday.
That really is an unsavory tale. Wow, okay, huh. Let's look at the tea, actually. Your beautiful tea set is there on the table as usual. A cup of one of your special herbal blends always helps me to relax when I'm feeling the strain.
Poor Hurley. He hasn't had a drop of tea today. I wish I could take some to the hospital for him.
Alright, yeah, let's go to the hospital. Probably a better idea to go to the hospital. Maybe he's in his bed yet? We can catch him just before he heads into surgery. 16th of April, St. Sinner's Hospital, Ward 3.
Hurley! Oh. He's not here.
No, that's strange. The nurse definitely said he was in the bed by the window, didn't she? Wrong bed?
Oh, I know what's probably happened. Hurley was being a big baby, and the bullet wound wasn't that bad after all, so he's been sent home.
Huh. I'm not so sure about that. Baby or not, there's no question that it was a fairly serious injury that Mr. Sholmes suffered.
Oh.
Hello, what have we here? Oh, this ward is off limits. No visiting. So, what are you doing in here, huh?
Well, I'll have you know, we're Hurley's next of kin.
Eh? Ah, well, begging your pardon then, ma'am, sir. A little lady and a curious Eastern gentleman. The great mystery solver has a mysterious family, eh? If that's how you see us, sure.
Where is he, Constable? Where's Hurley?
I believe he is currently in the operating theatre, ma'am, undergoing an extensive operation.
Extensive?
It has been several hours since he went in.
Hours? Jeez. That really was a serious wound.
Oh dear. Is he gonna be alright?
Well, it doesn't appear to be working, you see. The anesthetic, that is.
Oh.
I have a report that the gentleman claims he may have had a little too much to drink last night. Coffee, that is. Anyway, I think it would be fair to assume that he won't be back here for several hours yet.
I see. Thank you, Constable. Perhaps we should leave and come back later.
Oh, poor Hurley.
Huh. So, oh, that's weird. I thought anesthetic was supposed to, like, numb you. Oh, I mean, I guess it relaxes your muscles so you don't move, or, like, you feel very relaxed so you don't feel pain. And I guess coffee, well, that doesn't make sense, huh? Alright. Anyways. Let's talk to Gina. Best to see if we can ask her what happened. 16th of April, local prison, cell 13. Hello, Gina.
Oh, you still have the grenade launcher Hurley and I made.
I wish you wouldn't point it at me all this time, though. What are you here for?
Ginny?
I have a feeling it's because of us that you've ended up in trouble. So, we were thinking that we might be able to help you. Well, you can't. Sorry? You heard. Get lost.
Don't be like that, Ginny. I know you didn't do it. You'd never shoot someone. I just know you wouldn't.
You think you know me? Pull the other one.
Oh?
You ain't got the first idea about the likes of me. I'm a thief. I pinch people's purses when they're walking down the street. That's how I get by. And if I saw me a chance, I'd sneak into a pawn shop any day of the week. Just to see what I could lay my hands on. Get? That's the kind of person I am.
But Ginny...
I'll be in court tomorrow, they said. Some cop came by before and said he'd be a lawyer for me or the like. Said it was my right or something. But I told him to get stuffed. I don't need no lawyer. Don't need no one. Yeah? She couldn't be staring at me any more obviously if she tried.
Why are you being like this, Ginny?
Why are you being like this? Literally, like... I don't understand, Gina. Why did you send the public defender away? He wanted me to sign some papers. Representation papers, or something like that. It's all gonna be rigged anyway. The whole trial. They'll pin on me because I'm a kid. That's what grown-ups always do.
Why do you think that?
But that's how it always has been for me, growing up in the back slums, my whole life. If you do what the grown-ups tell you, it'll get your mates dragged off by the coppers, or worse. I've had it happen to me before and all. Been sold out and nearly snaffled on the back of it. You can't trust no one. That's the point. As soon as you do, you're going to grass, dead. Gina, listen. If you like, in tomorrow's trial, I could forget it.
Ginny? Don't you trust Bruno?
Nah, I don't. Look, I'll ask you nicely now. Just leave me alone. Yeah, why?
Ryunosuke is literally like 22. He's barely an adult. Will you tell us what happened, Gina? Last night, at the pawnbroker's. There's nothing to tell. I figured it'd pay me, so I broke into the place and started going through the storeroom. Not the old bloke walked in on me and you know the rest.
But why, Ginny? Why would you do that?
Ain't it obvious? The place is full of stuff I could sell for a shilling or two. Diving ain't easy, you know. It's a lot of work, and half the time you don't even get nothing. Is that really why you broke into the place? What? Are you sure the true reason wasn't something else? Oh, give it a rest. What would be the point anyway, huh? Nothing I can say will make a blind bit of difference.
Please tell us, Ginny. We'll believe you, whatever it is.
Believe me? Don't be daft. You can't believe nothing. Everyone lies all the time. You know what? When it comes to lies, I'm the biggest of the lot. I've told some unforgivable lies, I've.
What do you mean by that? What unforgivable lies?
What did you mean before, Gina, when you said you were the biggest liar of the lot? Why don't you tell us what these unforgivable lies you told are? Maybe we can help. Sorry. We're out of time. They're gonna want to question me now.
Ginny, please.
Oh, yeah. I wanted to give you this. Something to remember me by. Huh. A photographic print of a really adorable cat. Wasn't that on the desk in the Windibanks thing? I found it in one of the pockets of this coat. Ain't no point in me having it.
I wonder what a little photograph like that was doing in the pocket of that overcoat.
Anyway, don't bother coming again. Bye.
Oh, Ginny.
Huh. Alright, let's head back to the pawnbrokers then, because I remember seeing a picture like that somewhere during Sholmes' thing. Head to Baker Street. Maybe there's something new out here. Oh, literally just a police carriage. That's about it. Let's head inside the pawnbrokery. Oh, that's interesting. If you let your concentration slip, you might miss what people have to say. Okay. Alright, here we are, inside Windibanks. Ooh, actual animation. That's nice.
This is where it happened then? Last night?
That's right. The two thugs I told you about were obviously ransacking the place, looking for valuables.
But, apart from the policeman in here, you wouldn't know anything had happened. There's no sign of a disturbance.
No, you're right about that, actually.
In fact, if anyone, it's the police who seem to be the ones doing the ransacking.
I know what you mean. They're like a gang of organized criminals, all dressed in black. Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that's black. I would say that's more dark green, maybe? Oi, I heard that. Oh, Inspector. Good morning. I suppose I ought to thank you for your vigilance last night. We got to the scene before it was disturbed, at least. Shame you let the two rogues get away, mind? Yes, I'm sorry about that.
I thought you'd assigned extra men to the beat around here, Grexy. Now look what's happened. Hurley's been injured because there weren't enough police on duty.
Your ladyship! No one told me you were coming.
I expect you to take full responsibility for what happened to Hurley, and see that he has the best medical care.
Of course, your ladyship. The very best doctors in the capital are tending to him as we speak.
And I don't think it's Runo's fault that the rogues managed to get away, is it? Chasing criminals is the police's job.
Absolutely, your ladyship. As you say, ma'am, as you say. The Knights in Black's totally blameless. Everyone's in agreement about that.
Would you believe it? He's like a completely different person with Iris. Talk about a personality change. Well, yeah, I mean, he's getting a cut from her novels. She's literally paying him. Of course he's gonna be nice.
Oh, where are my manners? Are you thirsty, your ladyship? Perhaps you'd like some juice? Some nice refreshing fruit juice?
Oh, why? Are you thirsty, Grexy? I have some of my special herbal tea with me, if you'd like some.
Lovely. Tar very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship.
Yeah. I don't even recognize him like this. Alright. How's the investigation coming along then?
Nothing to it, really. Very simple case, this. There's some very definitive evidence. We're just about to charge that diver who arrested last night, in fact.
Gina? You're gonna charge her?
That's right. She'll be able to bring her before the judge at the Bailey tomorrow.
Definitive evidence, you say? What is it? Come on, show me.
Your ladyship, as much as I wish I could oblige you, I'm afraid...
Ah, I see. You've already captured the pair of thugs who broke in here last night, have you?
What the...
And you're gonna put them on the stand as witnesses, aren't you?
How could you... How could you possibly know that?
I had a feeling, that's all.
Remind me never to try and keep a secret from Iris. So, you've arrested the two men who shot Mr. Sholmes, have you?
Well, yes. They were rounded up pretty quickly by the lads on the beach.
On the beach? What? Why did I see beach for a second? And Miss Lestrade is being held at the prison?
She should be. That's assuming she hasn't lifted the key from the jailer, of course.
Can you tell us anything about Mr. Sholmes? What's his condition?
Sorry, I'm not at liberty to divulge that information. Scotland Yard matters are strictly confidential.
Well, I know he's being operated on at St. Sinners. Why can't I see him? I'm family, you know.
I'm terribly sorry, your ladyship. It's the hospital's policy. No visiting at all.
Yeah?
Oh,
The bullet must have hit an artery in its midriff. He's lost a fair bit of blood.
oh no.
He didn't seem too bad in the first hour or so, but a hemorrhage like that is enough to make even the one and only Sholmes pipe down.
Mr. Sholmes is a human like the rest of us, you know.
Well, anyway, he's out of an emergency surgery right now. They've got to stop that bleeding.
But he will be alright, won't he? They will be able to make him better?
Of course, your ladyship. He'll be as right as rain before you know it.
Really? How do you know?
How do I know? Because, of course. Yes. Because Mr. Sholmes is such a great detective. That's why.
We'd better pray the doctors have a better grasp of what's needed to make someone well again.
Oh dear. Please don't die, Hurley.
I'll report to your ladyship the moment I hear he's out of the operating theatre.
Huh. Okay. So he must have been shot in a serious artery then, because if there's that much blood and then the anesthesia isn't working on top of that, jeez, wow. Must really be in pain. I couldn't help noticing, Inspector.
What? Out the sunshine?
Well, there seems to be a marked difference between the way you talk to me and Iris.
What's the sauce, Sonny? I'm a copper, and we don't go in for favoritism.
But he's right. You do treat us differently.
It's 'cause of those adventures of Sherlock Holmes stories. That's why.
Oh?
I crop up in them, don't I? Inspector Tobias Gregson.
Oh, well, yes. Because you're an acquaintance of Hurley's.
What did you write about the inspector, Iris?
I don't remember really.
It was one of Holmes's lines. Gregson is the smartest of all the Scotland Yarders, is how he put it.
Oh, did I write that?
And you know what that one line did for me? Huh? The very next month, my pay doubled! Doubled, I tell you!
Oh, that's amazing.
All because everyone at the yard reads them. They've read all the Sherlock Holmes stories. They've even set up a fan club for me.
Jeez.
Of course. That explains everything. It was around that time that you became such a toady to me.
Can you blame me? All it would take is one bad word from you and Holmes could change his tune about me. Gregson? No, the great detective will say. He's getting quite overrated these days. Think what would happen to my salary if that came out in print, huh? The whole thing gives me the willies. I can't tell you how many nights of sleep I've lost to worrying about it.
Yeah?
But that would never happen, Grexy.
Every month the new Roundst magazine comes out. My hands are trembling as I turn the pages.
Oh, how awful for you. Here, have some of my tea to settle your nerves.
Ah, lovely. Tar very much. That really hit the spot, your ladyship.
Teetotal.
Oh, yeah. There's something I was supposed to talk to you about, actually, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes? What is it?
I've got an important message for you. I clean forgot about it until now.
An important message? I wonder what it could be. Okay. What is it exactly? Are you going to tell me what this important message is then, Inspector?
Yeah, it's about that young lady who's normally by your side. Your assistant.
Dear Susie, is she alright?
She's at the station, isn't she? Being questioned, I believe?
Nope, not anymore. She had to head off.
Head off? Where?
To Lord Strongheart's office, of course. He summoned her.
Ah, yes, of course. I had forgotten about that.
One of the whipstocks took her down a yard carriage after we finished questioning her. But she asked us to tell you that she didn't have the fare for the return journey and to go and meet her there.
Yeah?
She's got a nerve, using Scotland Yard as a bloomin' messaging service.
I see. Well, thank you for passing that on, Inspector.
Why did Susie have to go see the Lord Chief Justice?
She didn't tell me. But I'd better head to the Lord Chief Justice's office to fetch her straight away. Alright. Well, I may as well head on over there. We ain't got much else to do. (16th of April), British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. Yes. No matter how many times I've come here, I always get the same sense of oppressiveness somehow.
Do you think the place is oppressive? I think it's normal.
How so?
I mean, look at that suit of armor over there. You can't take that seriously, can you?
Maybe he thinks the same about you. Let's see.
So everything's clear with regard to tomorrow's arrangements, I trust?
Yes. Thank you very much.
There they are. Oh wait, no. That was reverse. Whatever. There they are. Susato-san and Lord Strongheart.
I wonder what they're talking about. They both look very serious.
Very good. There is nothing further to discuss. You may return to your lodgings. No doubt you have much to do in your preparation for your return to your homeland.
Return to homeland? What? Wait, what did he just say? Your return to your homeland? Susato-san!
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo.
What was that all about?
Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you for coming to collect your colleague.
What's all this about? Why are you talking about Miss Susato's return to her homeland? And tomorrow?
Tomorrow? But what about Ginny's trial?
You mean she's been formally charged now? Oh dear. No. Miss Susato, what is all this about?
Oh, please don't concern yourself, Mr. Naruhodo. It's only me going back to Japan.
Yeah? Your life here can continue just as— That's not what I asked. What happened? Why are you leaving?
It's my father. He's fallen ill. Oh no.
Professor Mikotoba?
If I may,
Yes, sorry?
you must be the defendant, Rinosuke Naruhodo, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
My name is Eugene Mikotoba. I'm a professor of forensic science at Yume University. We received an international telegram from the Empire of Japan informing us of the news.
10 days ago, father collapsed with a fever. The cause is apparently unknown, and it seems he grows weaker by the day by day.
I don't believe it.
As you are aware, the voyage from here to your country's capital, Tokyo, takes some 50 days. I thought it would be prudent to hasten Miss Susato's departure as much as possible.
Yes, absolutely.
I will leave London first thing tomorrow morning.
I can't believe this is happening. Jeez.
So, Gina has been charged? She'll have to appear in court?
Yes, she was formally charged a few hours ago, and by the date of the trial the date of the trial has already been set for tomorrow.
No, not even 24 hours later?
Gina. Ah, the Lestrade girl, and the murder of the Baker Street pawnbroker. Yes. An all too conspicuous case. The pickpocket was clearly disturbed mid-robbery and shot the man in a panic. No, the yard is outstretched as it is, without wasting time on these open and shut cases.
It's not wasting time. Ginny would never do something like that.
Mr. Naruhodo?
Oh, yes, Lord Strongheart?
In deference of your fine services to date, I shall have to overlook this young girl's insolence. But I have no recollection of admitting a child into my office. Leave, now.
Yeah, bro?
Of course, Lord Strongheart.
Criminals will tell the most palpable lies in order to evade justice. The police can ill afford the time it takes to unravel all of their untruths. Meanwhile, more crimes are perpetrated. We have far more serious matters with which to contend.
Serious matters? Didn't Gregson mention something like that? Yesterday?
Yes, Inspector Gregson made a similar remark yesterday.
It's no concern of yours, though I'm sure I need not remind you of that.
Well, guess we're out of luck.
3 minutes precisely until my next meeting. You must excuse me.
There's just, one more thing, Lord Strongheart.
Which is...
It's Miss Lestrade's trial. I wonder if you might permit me to defend her?
a timely suggestion.
Sorry?
The girl currently has no representation.
But that's not fair. Yes, she may be a pickpocket, but she still deserves a fair trial.
Do not misunderstand me, young lady. The government provides for those too poor to afford representation with a public defender. The accused need only sign the relevant paperwork, and a defense barrister will be assigned to the case. However, the young girl in question has refused that right.
Why would she do that?
A question you would do well to direct at Miss Lestrade. You'll find her at the local prison.
Yes, thank you.
Now then, it's time I was leaving. Good day to you.
What a day. Gina charged with murder. Susato-san about to leave.
Come, Miss Naruhodo, Iris, we must make haste. But, Susie, you're leaving for Japan tomorrow morning, aren't you? Don't you have packing and things to do? As Mr. Naruhodo's assistant, my personal circumstances are of no consequence. My sole purpose remains to help you in whatever way I can.
Thank you, Miss Susato. That's a very pensive look.
I think we ought to visit Gina first. In any case, I should like to wish her well before I leave. Yes, that sounds like a good idea. Let's go.
If I'm honest, this has completely thrown me off. I'll just have to do what I can, as a lawyer. Jeez, alright. I guess let's just head to Gina's then. What is it? Itching to dismantle that huge clock? Yeah? Isn't this... Hold up, if the clock's that big, isn't this literally in Big Ben? Whatever. Anyways. "16th of April. Local prison. Cell 13. Hello again, Gina. What are you lot here for now? To have the muzzle of that grenade launcher shoved in our faces yet again, obviously.
I think I need to improve the way you load ammunition into that thing, don't I?
Look. You can come as many times as you like, but I ain't got nothing more to say to you. Oh, I guess we were supposed to say everything? Whatever.
Gina, I wonder if you might hear me out.
There's something I'd like to say.
What?
I'm sorry to say that I must reluctantly bid you farewell.
Eh? Farewell.
Tomorrow, I must begin my journey back home, to Japan. I fear we may never meet again.
Oh, right.
I've had the pleasure of meeting so many lovely people here in London. I have so many wonderful memories. And yet, as things stand now, it will be a glum parting indeed. Poor Iris is so miserable.
Susie,
Well, that ain't my business.
Both Iris and Mr. Naruhodo believe you to be innocent, Gina. They've put their faith in you. But somehow, you can't find it in your heart to put your faith in them.
Yeah, that's right. I can't. What of it?
It grieves me greatly to have to say goodbye to my friends when they are so clearly unhappy. Because of you.
What? It's my fault?
Yes, so I have one final request, Gina, before our paths never cross again. Right here and now, I want you to show both of them that you don't deserve the faith they've invested in you.
Huh?
Only by doing that will you truly be as alone as you claim to be.
What are you talking about? What do you expect me to do, huh?
You've told us that everyone lies. So prove it by admitting one of your own untruths.
what about what you said before, Ginny? You said something about unforgivable lies.
You must tell Mr. Naruhodo and the Iris the truth now. That is my last request before I leave. My last request as a judicial assistant.
No, I can't. Whatever those lies are, they're obviously weighing heavily on Gina's mind. Gina, I could be wrong, but is this something to do with what's happened 2 months ago? Something about that trial? The one in which Magnus McGilded was acquitted? Yeah, there were a lot of fake things in that trial, I wouldn't be surprised. The case of that mysterious murder that took place inside the omnibus. You were called as a witness by the prosecution. Is that what this is about? Yeah, you're right. Because in that trial, I lied. I lied like you wouldn't believe. Jeez. Will you tell us about it now? What happened, literally? Like you said, it all happened 2 months ago. The couples got hold of me and shoved me in the witness stand. And based on your testimony, Mr. McGilded was declared innocent. Yeah, well, the thing is... Sorry, I lied about a whole bunch of stuff. I knew it.
What sort of thing did you lie about?
I was under the seat that night. That was the truth. It was pitch black in that little cubbyhole. I couldn't see a thing. And then I heard that loud thud, like someone falling on the floor.
And that's when Mr. McGilded discovered you?
Yeah. He pulled me out from under the seat and sat me next to the dead man. There weren't much light to see by, but when I looked at my hands, I had the carver's blood all over them. I was so scared, I couldn't even speak.
You had his blood on your hands?
In other words, it was Gina that the witnesses on the roof deck saw through the skylights. So it was her.
Then, Mr. McGilded started asking you questions, I suppose? Who you were, and why you were hiding under the seat? Yeah, it did. Only, that's not all. What do you mean?
I mean, he threatened me.
Threaten you how?
It made me swear about what I'd seen and what I'd heard.
And about what he was going to do after the cult was found dead.
It made me swear I wouldn't tell no one about any of it. If I did that, he said he'd let me scalp before the coppers showed up.
Gina, you must tell me what he swore you to secrecy about. What you saw, what you heard, everything. Alright, so we got a few new things, and yeah, I think this is a good spot to end it, because if we keep going, we're going to get into like an hour and 20 minutes, I believe, so yeah. Anyways, next time we're going to hear what Gina's saying, and hopefully get into the trial, so yeah, I will see you all next time.